when they just want to have a go themselves. Okay, so the bit that they'll probably get right, okay, and the bit that's pretty self-explanatory is how we get round an external 90-degree corner. Okay, so what we're going to do is half the angle. You know, half of 90 is 45, so you can go to your chop saw and you can cut your skirting board at 45 degrees. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, say for example, this is the corner of my room here. I'm going to pop one end of the skirting in, and then I'm going to bring the pencil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sail this right the way into the corner of the room. Okay, leave it overhanging. I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to mark in line with this return of the wall, this 90-degree angle. Okay, if you're doing this on like a plastered wall, for example, as well, it might have a sort of lump and a bump in the wall, so you always want to give it a mil or two extra to be a little bit past, because then what will happen is the next one will sit on it, and even if it's got a slight gap on the top, you can just cork that gap in. If you cut that dead tight to the corner and then you've got a lump and a bump in it, the mitre is not going to sit flush. Okay, so if you haven't guessed by now, 145 on one side, okay, and then another 45-degree cut on the other, and then it should meet up like so. Okay, nice and tight. Okay. What do we think we should do then? Once we're happy with the length, what do we do? We need to fix it? Yeah? How do we fix
glue?
The position?
I don't know, is it?
Glue, yeah. Okay, so what we could do, we could fix this. This is against a piece of timber stud work, so we could use just timber screws, okay, wood screws, 60mm screws or whatever. Okay, make sure that we're doing it nice and neat. Nails, we could nail it or pin gun it, yeah. Okay. If it was going against a concrete wall, for example, we could use some like glue, some no nails, for example, stick tool, brick fill, whatever you want to call it, okay? And that would hold it in position. But what we need to do with a mitre is we need to make sure that the mitre that's together at the moment stays together. So what we want to use is a bit of adhesive on that, okay? So you can use some PVA, but you can also use specialist sort of super glue as well. Which is like a two-part, where we've got an activator spray and then the actual super glue together. And then when they go together, it sort of seals it and keeps it together. Alright? So relatively straightforward with a mitre. Okay, this is where the DIY guys will possibly make the mistake, because what they all think is they can just do the same thing for an internal mitre. Okay? What we actually want to do for an internal mitre is sail one piece all the way into the corner of the wall, like so, and then with the other piece, what we're going to need to do is cut the profile on this section so it lines up and fits snugly over the profile. So what we need to do is find the profile of the timber. And all you need to do to get that is put a 45-degree back cut into the edge of the timber. And if you look at that now, you'll see a perfect profile of the actual shape, okay? Then what we're going to do, we're going to use my pencil, and I'm just going to shade in the corner just so I can see it a little bit easier. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one here, which is called a coping saw, well done, okay, which adjusts by untightening, and then you can adjust the direction of the blade, okay, let's find where it is for a minute. And then what we do is cut it out, okay. So when we cut this out, what we want is we want it'll be nice at the front, and the back just needs to be clear so that it doesn't obstruct the front. So what I'd need to do is put a slight undercut on this, okay? So let's be square, that's square, okay? By putting an undercut, I'm going to be cutting at that angle. It's like the back cut, so rather than being square to it, okay, I'm going to be cutting at that angle. Alright? And that means that the furthest point forward is the face, which is going to be the shoulder. Okay, so that means it counters the back first and then having a gap in the front edge. Okay? So you want to get yourself in a nice position for this. Okay? Get yourself comfortable. Something like the little sawhorse, and then obviously hold the. I always like to hold the coping saw like that. It gives you a bit of extra control. Okay, so coming closer, if you need to see. Angle it. So there's that undercut that I was talking about. That would be square, but I'm cutting more at the back edge, okay? Okay, so I've formed the profile now. So that should fit nicely over the corner there, okay? Like so. Alright? Relatively straightforward, but you've got to know how to do it. Thanks for watching.
Boom.